Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. We got a big one today. I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are, so please share them in the comments. It all started with this thing, and then was reinforced when we got into that Malco locking plier plant closing. But anyway, I picked this thing up. It's a Right in the Rain pouch. I like the form factor of it. Kept this once I realized what was going on for making a video such as this. Right in the Rain says made in Tacoma, etc., etc. Talks about the size of this thing. More here, Right in the Rain, made in Tacoma, made in the U.S., kind of what you notice here. But then it says made in the U.S., Right in the Rain, all-weather paper. Well, I knew the paper was. Here's Right in the Rain. It says right there, made in the U.S. So I wondered what was going on here. Right in the Rain by Vanquest. So this is probably subcontracted. You flip this over, and it says designed in the USA, made in Taiwan. They put a lot of time into that, making that big bright logo, 3 colors. But it's designed in the U.S. And I don't know what, took 4 months, maybe 6 months of production testing before they released it to be manufactured. So if this has gone into production and it stays in production for years, well, it's 6 months of design, U.S. paycheck, and then it flips to overseas and then comes back as a finished product. Now, Taiwan's probably not a bad place to have something like this made. Vietnam might be better, as we'll see. But it's actually branded, like as if this makes us feel better, designed in the U.S. So somebody in the U.S. designed it on a computer probably and then sent the plans overseas once it was done. Well, there are other companies. Here's Maxpedition. It says American design made in Vietnam. They're owned up right there, no flags. Here's a newer Maxpedition here. You got to dig way down at the bottom there. And there's a little tag. I'll save you the pain, but basically it says made in Vietnam. Made in Vietnam is probably not a bad thing. That seems to be one of the global leaders in textile manufacture, production, sewing, etc. Well, I thought that the Right in Rain was made in America. Here's one of my other Right in the Rains here. It says Tacoma, Washington. Doesn't give me any indication it's not. And then if I go to this guy here, bigger one, again, Right in the Rain, Tacoma. Got some Right in the Rain instruments here, but I don't know where these are made. Oh, that one says right there, made in the USA. All right. I guess it was this one I wasn't as sure of. Need to have the package. Both of these are Right in the Rains, but if I flip this over, it has the actual subcontractor as Tactical Tailor, made in the USA. So I was thinking that, in fact, Right in the Rain stuff was. Have another similar, this is actually by Spec Ops, 2 flags, big here, made in the USA, made in the USA. They're trying to be crystal clear. I guess they could have put it on the front, but, that might mess up your OPSEC. But there are excellent products made in the USA. But what I want to do is go over some of these things and why I choose the countries, or why I appreciate the countries, or even use that as a business model to try to figure out how you could sustain something like a premium locking plier. So we all remember when SnapOn deleted the USA from the ratchet head, and we collectively lost our minds, and SnapOn brought it back. Now, it never left the handle. It was always there. So they say, well, see, it doesn't matter. It was always there. But to me, whoever made that marketing decision, I'd like to know why. It could have been because they wanted to make it more appealing overseas. I don't know. Trying to get into other countries. Now, SnapOn is a premium brand, and its brand, just its name, has that feeling that makes it like we want stuff from SnapOn. There are a handful of brands like that. But if you're going overseas, I don't know. Because let's think about this for a second. In America, our population is about 4.25%. Less than 1 out of every 20 people of the entire world. 4.25%. That's it. We've got about 14 cities in the U.S. with a population over 1 million. You run over to China. China has over 150 cities over 1 million. And in fact, it's got 8 cities over 10 million. That is a huge number. So if you're marketing to something, to a global population, you're probably not that interested in the U.S. So the U.S., in order to have that USA really, mean something, unless it's music or fashion or maybe fast food, I don't know if it really does. So you have to market this to the people who care, which is that 4.25% of the world. And in fact, it's a very small fraction of that 4.25% that would even be interested. But it can be done. How do I know? Because PB Swiss seems to be around. These are PB Swiss hex wrenches. Everyone and their dog makes hex wrenches. Hex wrenches come free with a lot of products, so you can assemble it yourself or maintain it. Yet PB Swiss, made in Switzerland, little tiny country, little little tool company essentially that makes these incredibly high quality tools that people buy and they stay in business. Now you think Switzerland, little country, snow, glaciers, cows eating grass with big bells around their neck. Really high performance stuff, really expensive stuff like good chocolate, etc. Mechanical devices, just amazing mechanical devices like ski lifts. But these things, I don't know, they're still in business. They still make them. These are serialized. The market for these must be incredibly small, way smaller than locking pliers, but they seem to do it. Vera, on the other hand, they've innovated in the design of their hex wrenches. German company, comes with everything you think of with German engineering. Yeah, made in the Czech Republic, of course, but that's okay. The outsourcing doesn't seem to affect us as much as you might think. For instance, I really love the Swedish Knives, Swedish axes. Amazing. I want Swedish axes. That's it. I want Finnish. I love Scandinavia. I want Finnish compasses. There were 2. There's 1 now. The other one's now made in China. The issue of their knives, love Swedish knives. This particular one here, Falkeneven, great knife, made in Japan. That's okay. I really like Japanese stuff as well. In fact, I think Japanese make some of the best titanium stuff in the world. Totally cool with that. Lots of things are also co-branded or over, we kind of straddling a couple of things. What do I have here? Smith Optics. Right there, you can see up in the corner. Smith, American company, great stuff. These, what's left of it there, is made in Italy. I love Italian eyewear. Right there. So American company, made in Italy, but I also love the Italian company, a Solo, and Solo boots, my hunting boots here. But if you dig in, the Solo, these are made in Romania. So I've got Romanian boots, with that brand. I love Leupold optics. That's all I use in this form. And I try to stay with any USA-made quality mounts. Leupold, made in Oregon. Great service. Well, except here's my Leupold binoculars in my Eberly stock Boise, Idaho case. The Leupold binoculars here, and these are the good ones. These are the BX4s. Not the ones you'd expect to see, out of China there. Pro Guide HDs. Flip them over, look between the legs, and what do you got? You got made in Japan upside down there. Totally fine, because I have a piece of hunting hardware I use that's out of a Utah company called Browning, Morgan, Utah, except it's made in Japan. So I'm used to that. Dig down in here inside this Eberly stock bag, and you're going to see this is actually manufactured. Maybe, wait, let me turn on my SnapOn Chinese light here, and you dig in there, and it actually is going to say made in Vietnam. I'm actually okay with that. Why? Because the Vietnamese or the Vietnamese companies can probably do a much better job on scale for something as high-tech as a magnetic binocular closure like this. Put that down. Some try to hide it a little bit. Here's a Manfrotto tripod. I love these things. I love the high-tech tripods. You dig in here, look between the legs. What do you got? Made in Italy. This actually had a little Chinese or made in China sticker on it, and I peeled that off. I don't know where it is, but it was just stuck to the leg, whereas these have actually a molded pocket, so it'll stay there for a lot longer. Others, here's a nice Manfrotto here, carbon fiber, ultralight. This particular tripod, the Manfrotto logo there, had a little tiny Chinese made in China sticker on it. Very expensive tripod, but made in China. You know, there's almost no way around that. Pelican cases. Here's another example. Look at that. Right there, made in the USA. Pelican makes excellent cases. Torrance, California. Well, they're expensive though. So what happens? Well, Pelican actually makes another line. It's called the Vault. Did a video on these a long time ago, Vault by Pelican. And that's to compete. Flip it over and it says made in Mexico. So you can get a less expensive version of the really good one. Interesting. Flashlights. I love USA made flashlights. Surefire here. They're not as innovative, so I also like a lot of the Chinese, quality Chinese ones, because the Chinese ones really can produce the volume. Think about the number they're selling around the world versus just US manufacturing. Kind of crazy. Pocket knives. If I'm going to carry it, I really like the American-made ones. I really like American-made multi-tools. That's what I stay with, mostly Leathermans. And that's a super saturated space. So think about if Leatherman can stay in business making all kinds of innovation. Although they are doing a lot overseas now, I've noticed. It's getting rougher. You know, to have a $150, $170 multi-tool when you can get one on Amazon for $9.95 and they kind of look the same. I mean, I don't know what you do. Binoculars? Check that out. Made in Germany. We love German optics, Austrian optics, etc. But some of their best binoculars, like the Leica Ultravids, flip them over between the legs, it says, made in Portugal. That's totally normal. I expected it. Portugal makes fantastic optics. One place I stay out of China is food products, water bottles, etc. like this that are plastic. Others, like Yeti, you know, Yeti would flip Yeti over. It says, designed in Texas, made in China. That's totally normal. Their coolers, I think, are made here, but so plastic one, this goes in the garbage. Instead, even though Montreal's a French company, it was made by a U.S. company here, specialized, and is branded USA, so I'll continue to use that guy. So, it's a crazy world out there. Oh, I show you this one, this Kata. Another excellent, super high quality pouches, outstanding stuff. Dig down in here. Look at that. It says made in China, but flip that over, the side facing out, and it says that it is a development and production by Kata Limited in Jerusalem, Israel. But Chinese manufacturing. Can't get away from it. It's a global thing. So it comes down to having a business model that will allow you to sustain your factory, your company on products that are rather expensive compared to global products. I don't know. Tell me what you think. It can be done. I think PB Swiss has proved it. However, SnapOn or Malco really needs to, I think, consider, you know, their target audience is a teeny-weeny fraction of the world, and that USA manufacturing may not have or may not carry the weight that you think it does. When it gets down to the ground level, definitely has an effect, but at the 30,000 foot level, you look at this landscape of products from all over the world, high quality products, and that USA means a lot to 4% of the population, if that. So anyway, share your thoughts. Love to know. And if you've got particular brands, particular places of manufacture, let me know about them. Love to learn. With that, Doc out.